Today is December 12th, 2018. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers who recently subscribed to me. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you like the content and you get something out of it and you'll keep coming back for more. Unfortunately, I lost 2 subscribers, but needless to say, you got to keep pushing on, folks. For those who are starting a YouTube channel, you're going to notice it's going to go up and down. We may not be the next PewDiePie's or whatever, or Ryan's toy review, but you know what? Got to keep pushing on. Do I get bummed out sometimes what happens? Yeah, but you know what I say? You lose some, you gain some, right? But anyway, that's not what this channel is all about. I didn't call up to make this video in regards to the subscribers. I mean, the ones that are still hanging in there with me, I greatly appreciate it. For those who have been hanging in there with me, you notice I have changed the banner again. It's the same thing. It's, I had to change it up really quick, but it was getting too late, so I just updated again. What I want to talk about is touch bases on a little different things, folks. As you know, this channel is going to deal with different, content. I'm going to be talking about different things. It could be from repairs to do-it-yourselves and how-tos, whatever I can conjure up. It's all about sharing, and it's all about everyday vlogging. So I hope you guys can hang out. I hope you like the stuff I put out. If you do, you'll subscribe, then I know you like it. If you're a subscriber, then I know you like what I put out. If you don't subscribe, then I know you don't like the content. Maybe you don't like me, but I hope you do. Anyway, I just want to share something really quick. I'm going to go bump out of here, and I'm going to shoot over about eBay, because as you know, I am also an eBay seller when there are sales to be made. So let's bump right out of this screen here, and give me 1 second here, folks. I'm going to go to the next screen. Okay, as you can see here, I have 120 listings. Okay, they all vary in price range. Pretty much, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything over $100 here. And the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because I get these messages from eBay, and I find it kind of amusing because every time I listen to what they have to say, I take their advice. Nothing really transpires from it. But I just want to show you what I got here, folks. And this is what I have going on here. I don't know if you guys are experiencing slow sales. Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're doing better. I was on a YouTube channel yesterday following a seller, and he was saying that how good he's doing and stuff like that. And I'm sure I'm sure he is. He may be, but he's saying oh, you got to go out there, you got to be positive. You got to keep grinding away at it, and so on and so forth. And folks, to be honest with you, I've been doing that there right from the get-go, and it has been very bad, to be honest with you. I went on, after I heard his video, I went on to the eBay community chat board. And I know there are going to be people out there may be followers who do follow me saying, oh, you can't believe that chat board because, people put negative stuff there. But, folks, you got to understand something. If people ain't making sales, people don't go on those community chat boards to sit there and defame or make derogative statements about eBay. They're not there to put eBay down. Some may be, but for the most part, they're there expressing their issues and concerns, such as I. I mean, I feel like times I like to post stuff up there, and I did at one point, in regards to the sales being down. Now, I mean, if you could see here, every one of these things pretty much have a watcher on here, as you can see on the top there. They have watches, right? And I know a lot of people may say, listen, you're not the only one going through all this here. But you know something? I don't know. When I did call up the teammate the last time, they said something that they were doing something with the updates in regards to not the search engine so much that was okay, but it was something to do with the categories. I get so confused. That's why I got to write stuff down. I think I did, but I might have put it somewhere in the papers. And the teammate was telling me, well, after December, we're in December right now, so it's kind of slow and stuff like that. Maybe afterwards, and you always get those excuses. But the things I always find amusing is when I get these type of messages like this. Now you can see this came in from December 9, 2018. You might have gotten these. It says your items are waiting in the cart. Now make the sale. Okay. When you first see this, like when I first got this email, this message from them a while back, I'm saying to myself, my items in a cart. I said, I don't buy anything off of eBay, and if I do, it's usually toner cartridges and ink cartridges. So when I seen this here, I was a little taken aback. But then you got to, like, read the whole thing, of course. Of course you got to read. But I'm just saying here. But if you look at it, then the article goes on to say, or the title goes on to say, drop the price to make the sale. Lower the price by 5% of these items in shoppers' carts, and we will email them to say the deal got better. Now, as far as I know, even despite you get these messages from eBay, I was always told or understand, it's my understanding that once you do, lower the price, they would do it automatically, So now, I don't know, it sounds to me like, they're coming up with something else now to give the seller a little extra work. I know about the promoted listing stuff. I don't use it. There are people that use it, and they think some people say it's good, or some people may say they had bad experience with, like it didn't really do nothing for them. But in regards to these messages that eBay sends out, I was, like I said, again, I know what they say about assuming, but that's the way I was told. So when you lower it, a teammate told me that, when you lower the prices down, eBay will send a notification to the watcher who's watching your items. Okay, so needless to say, I did what they said. I went in here and I lowered the prices. I think it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so these 5 items, I lowered the price down by a few bucks here and there. If I keep lowering them down anymore, folks, I might as well just give it away. Seriously, I might as well just give it away. But anyway, I don't know if you guys dealt with that message. If you did, you didn't, I don't know. And I was just talking to a relative of mine. Because the person hasn't been able to sell on eBay, he was dropped from a top-rated seller down to, I guess, below standard. So now he's just a regular seller, and he's like, I don't care. It doesn't matter, He's got a full-time job anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. But, eBay, it's funny. Like, if you don't meet up with their standards or demands, so to speak, whatever little perks they give you, they'll take it away in a drop of a hat, so to speak. But you know what? It is what it is. Thank God he's got a full-time job. I don't. I'm trying to do this full-time. And to be honest with you, it's not going anywhere. So that's when I hear people sitting there talking, get these other sellers, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing. Hey, listen, they're probably people, and let me tell you something else, folks. I want to share this with you. I did notice that some of the sellers, okay, the online, the eBay sellers that have YouTube channels, if you look at their subscriber base, like one person's up in the high 40s, another person's in their 20s or high 20s, thousands I'm talking about. They may, I'm not saying they throw a segue out there, but, they have of course you could put a link in a hyperlink to your store. So I think 9 out of 10, I would think, and I could be wrong, some of those followers or subscribers on that person's YouTube channel may just go there and buy what the person has to offer. So I would think that, if you have, a high volume of subscribers, there may just be an opportunity where some of them or a percentage of them may go on your eBay listing and make purchases off you. I don't have that. I put links in there and stuff like that, and I don't think personally it does anything for me. But listen, if these people are claiming they're making the money, God bless them. That's all I can say. I wish them all the best, I wish myself all the best as well. But anyway, I don't want to expand too much on this here. I just want to talk a little about, some financial things too. Tax time is coming around, and it's a time where people don't really think much about it. But there is a thing here I picked up from MS Money, and I like to share these things with you guys. As you can see here, the title, this was posted 9 hours ago. It's one big reason Americans are so stressed out and unhealthy. And if you really look on this here, now I'm not going to expand too much on it. This is from Money, so if you go to www.msn.com, you could read the stories. And, it's really sad because, I got 2 daughters, and the other day they were talking about, hey, Dad, we live in New York, of course, and they were talking about, they want to move out of state and stuff like that because it's cheaper to live out of state than it is to live in New York. New York, it is kind of pricey to live. It is pricey to live here. There's no doubt about it. And I would love to do whatever I can for my kids, but my last name ain't Gates or Warren Buffett, where I have billions of dollars where I could buy my kids houses and stuff. So they have to fend for themselves, so to speak. I mean, your parents can only do so much for the kids, and then they're on their own. And that's the sad part too. Having your loved ones that you grew up with. You took care of them, you nursed them when they were little and stuff like that, and you spent a lot of joyous times with them. And then you find out later on, years later, they get older, they got to move out of state because the state that you're living in or they're living in, they can't afford to live here. I don't know why, in God's name, to be honest with you, New York has got to be so high priced. I live on the island and stuff like that, and I know they say New York is this, that, and the other thing, but let me tell you something, folks. I'm like 35 miles away from Manhattan and stuff like that. And it is a beautiful city at night. It's got a beautiful skyline and stuff like that. And I'm not like anti-New York. I have some relatives that can't wait to get out of here when I retire because of it. But at the same time, we have to make do with what you have. And the thing is, if you're going to go get into retirement, look, I'm pushing retirement age, okay? And Social Security... They might not. I don't know how long it's going to be around, to be honest with you, folks. You hear all these different stories and stuff like that. That by the time I retire, there may not be Social Security. And if that's the case, folks, we're going to be in for a world of hurt. Believe me, at least I am anyway. I mean, if you don't have a 401k or if you're not paying into it anymore because of a layoff or a job loss, whatever it may be, and you're not contributing anymore to it, and especially now, Americans, they're not saving the money for it. It's for retirement. They can't afford to put them, like you hear these financial guys talking about putting money away, max out your 401k. Who could afford to max out a 401k? Take 20% of your salary. That's a lot of money to some people. So we're really in a quagmire here as far as like trying to make ends meet here. And I feel bad for my kids. I don't want to see them move. And I know, there are still opportunities that do arise out here on the island. You may have to go further out on the island to get a livable place where it's affordable for the most part. But, nobody wants to see their loved ones go away. I mean, these are your kids, you want to spend time with them. And I don't know why, like I said again, this New York is noted for that there. Any New Yorker you talk to, there's over 8 million people here, they'll tell you the same thing. New York's an expensive place to live, And I wonder sometimes if that's a way of filtering out the lower middle income people out of the state and let the higher income people come in here. But, sometimes you got to stand your ground and you got to try to, do what you can to survive. But at the same time, I got all my family here, to be honest with you. And I really don't want to move away myself, when that time comes to retire. I don't want to go away. I don't want to, go to another state. Because it's so ridiculous to live here. But anyway, without furthering on that one there, let's just read a little about this here. And it goes on to say here, Americans are drowning in financial troubles. Credit card debt is hit the record high. I said this once before in my other ones. It hit a record high this year is at more than $1 trillion according to the Federal Reserve. Student loan has jumped 150% over the span of just a decade, and not only we are drowning in debt, we're not saving. Okay, about 1 in 4 Americans don't have enough have a single dollar saved for an emergency. Now that is sad, folks. I mean, this is something seriously to think about. A lot of people may sit there and say, "Well, you're living for today," folks. You might want to get off that way of thinking and start planning for your future. Because let me tell you something. I got my daughters, and one's 24, one's 26, okay? And I myself have never seen those years fly by, and I mean fly, okay? It's people that if you're not doing the right thing to save money or try to keep your debt. Look, I'll be honest with you, myself. Like I said again, I'm pushing retirement age, and this is why I can't stress it enough. If you have credit card debt, pay it off as soon as you can. Don't carry debt when you go into retirement age, because let me tell you something. Depending on what you're getting for Social Security, if that's what you're going to have for to live on, that's not going to be that's going to take away from you. Okay, so you don't want to go into retirement with a $5,000 or $10,000 credit line that's being used right now. That kind of debt span. You don't want that. So that's what I'm trying to say. People may say, I heard your videos before. You're like a stickler with that stuff. You're always talking about finance. Because first off, I worked in finance before I got laid off my job. My job went overseas. Okay? And I remember pulling the credit reports from Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. I used to pull those files, those credit reports. Okay, and and the way it works, folks, let me tell you something. If you have bad credit going into and the last thing you want to do is go into your golden years with debt load. And I learned a lot from working in that line of work in the finance department. Okay, and I became very frugal, but then again, I was frugal right from the get-go. Okay, I teach my kids about frugality, and thank God they're smart enough where they learn from me and the wife that money is you gotta respect it, and you gotta use it to its advantage. But at the same time, I'm not saying, oh, so you go through life, you work hard all your life, and you don't get to enjoy it. Well, that depends, folks. That all depends on how much you're making and what your financial debt is. Are you in a financial crunch, or there's a lot of variables with this. Okay, and it's a pretty serious thing, and people ain't thinking about it right now, but it's going to creep up on you. Okay, so for those in their 30s, their late 20s and 30s and 40s, I got plenty of time. Let me tell you something. I was there too. I was once 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, and so on. Okay, so I've been there too, and let me tell you something. Those years creep by so fast. Okay, and this is things that people are not thinking about. All right. Like I said again, you do what you may do. Be as it may, you do what you want, but you don't want to be in a situation where you're going to be in a crisis with debt over your. What is that saying there? The borrower becomes slave to the debtor. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to sit there and worry about paying your credit card bills and stuff like that? And the same thing when it comes to cars. If you're going to retire, get ready to retire soon. And let's say you buy a new car because that's they're probably going to be the last car you're going to buy. Maybe. I'm not saying to be funny. You buy it 5 years before you retire and get something that's affordable. And this way, by the time you do retire, that car will be paid off. So that's one big bill off that you don't have to worry about during retirement. And the other thing would be is if you have credit card debt, hopefully it's not too high, pay that off. And this way, when the time comes, you put in for your paperwork to retire, you don't have to worry about a car payment or credit card bills. Okay, I'm telling you, folks. People, wake up before it gets too late. But this goes on to say here, all of this takes a big toll on us. A survey by American Institute of CPAs found that more than half of Americans with debt say they never negatively impacted their lives. What's more, money is number one cause of stress for Americans. And let me tell you something, folks. Don't think stress don't kill. It does, okay? It weakens the immune system, and a lot of people that are stressed out, you can talk to your doctors about that. They'll tell you the same thing. Stress does play an adverse effect on your body, okay? And I don't care what anybody says. They could argue and fight and whatever and try to convince me. I don't believe that. I believe what the doctors are saying and from what other people, okay? And it goes on to say here, according to the data from the American Psychological Association, regardless of the economic climate, money and finances have remained the top stressor since our survey began in 2007. The results revealed. And now a new survey released Thursday by online lending marketplace Lending Club reveals that Americans who report poor financial health also tend to have poor physical health. Is what I'm talking about. Indeed, they are significantly less likely to practice healthy physical habits. 59% do not get routine checkups, and 60% do not get regular exercise, and more likely to skip preventative health measures due to the cost of 38%. Bad wealth begets bad health, the survey concluded. This is not me talking, folks. I'm just repeating what I read, okay? The rest is up to you. I put this information out there, folks, to help, okay? This is part of my daily vlog. Okay, I'm going to talk about things that matter to me, and I also want to share it with you guys as well. May not matter to you right now because you're young, but folks, I'm telling you, please, for yourself, do whatever measure you can while you're still relatively young. You got credit card debt paid off. My daughter, I feel sorry for her. She's got a very high student loan thing. She became an RN. And I tell her, she took a loan out for a less amount. Those loans, by the way, student loans, as you all know, are not forgiven loans. You can't write those off, claim bankruptcy, stuff like that. You can't do that, as far as I know. Now, she did get a loan to get the interest rate dropped on it, but it's a big loan, and that's the other thing. I read about once before, if I could find that YouTube video or that story is a documentary where they had young kids, going to college and stuff like that. And one girl said, because the student loan is going to be so high, I won't be able to get married right away. I won't be able to buy a house. And they're trapped. They're trapped with their student loans, My daughter works at a hospital, and she said his doctors there that have $300,000 student loans. Okay? All right, so you say, well, they're doctors, so when they do the residence and their the internship, they'll go out, they'll be making hopefully a lot more money, and they'll probably pay that loan off within a reasonable time. Okay, but right now they're not making they're interns of residents, they're not making $150,000. To be honest with you, they're probably making a mediocre salary right now, because like I said, they're not gonna start unless it's different hospitals, but. I've heard stories where they're not making that great a salary when they first graduate college. At least not. They're not. I don't think they're doing six digits over that. Let's put it that way. So anyway, let's go on and read a little more here. It says, "What's more, the money issues are causing more than just some feeling of dread and skip doctor's office visits. Here are some of the many ways financial stress may impact your health." Okay. I could relate to some of this. I'm trying to move this down my mouse cursor here. Depression and anxiety. People with greater financial stress have more symptoms of depression and anxiety than those who aren't financially stressed, according to the 2013 study published in the journal Anxiety, Coping, and Stress. Migraines. A study released in September found that for many people, financial stress is relating to getting more migraines. Indeed, people with a certain genetic variation of a so-called clock gene, it helps control things like the body temperature and the level of the stress hormone cortisol. About 1/3 of the population has this variation, are more likely to get migraines in times of financial stress. The company I last worked at before, the one I got laid off from, there was a girl that we used to, a lady that worked there, and she was always under stress. She was always under a lot of stress. She had time constraints. She had deadlines to get out. And every time I seen that little girl walking past my desk, she always had you could see her head was numb. She was like, "Oh, does anybody have any Advil? Does anyone have to?" It was like every day this poor woman was taking medication, Advil or pain relief for headaches and stuff like that. You talk about stress. Well, I felt so bad. Needless to say, she eventually retired from there. But my gosh, what a thing, how jobs could, put you in a situation like that. All right, so we talked about that there, about the migraines. How about this one? Also, ulcers and digestive issues. An Associated Press poll showed that people who are under high financial stress are way more likely to complain about ulcers and digestive problems. 27% of them said that they had these issues than those who are low financial stress, 8%. Here's another one. High blood pressure and a heart attack. Now, I worked in a company where a guy had passed away at his desk. I worked in a software company, and the person, from what I was told, the person died of a heart attack at their desk. The person was so overstressed. Now, but then again, the person could have had an underlying condition too. You know what I'm saying? Things like that do happen. Unfortunately, but that's what I heard. But anyway, it goes on here. Heart attacks. Okay, it says high blood pressure and heart attacks. High levels of debt may also lead to blood pressure, according to a 2013 study of 8,400 young adults published in the journal Social Science Medicine. Treating hypertension can cost you $700 or more per year. Data shows annual expenditures for those treated with hypertension averaged $733 per adult in 2010. What's more, people with high financial stress are more likely to report that they have had a heart attack or arrhythmia. 6% of those with low financial stress, 3% according to AP data. Disrupted sleep. Well over half, both women, 68%, and men, 56%, say they lose sleep at least occasionally because they're worried about money. According to the survey of 1,000 adults released in 2016 by creditcards.com, a credit card comparison website, and can be very costly. Americans spend more than $40 billion on sleep aids. This is a serious thing, folks. Some people may say, you're making a big thing over it, Look, like I said again, I put it out there for you guys, okay? If you don't want to, follow through with it. I'm not going to play the video because it'll take too long. I don't know how long it is. But it's up to you guys. I mean, I put it out there to share this information with you. All right. But anyway, let's move right along here. I don't want to expand too much on that topic. The other one I printed over here, put up here is 3 mistakes to make if you expect Social Security to be in your main source of retirement income. This came out 4 hours ago by the Motley Fool, www, but it's over here, www.msn.com. But you can see who put it out. Okay, it was published 4 hours ago. It says, now it's another thing too. I'm concerned about this. People might say, wait a minute, you're talking about finances. Yeah, you know why? Because I'm getting close to that age. And for those, a lot of us baby boomers, you might be thinking about the same thing. Maybe you are, maybe you're not, but I would think you would be. Especially if you're pushing up, your age is creeping up to retirement. Let's just go a little expand. There was another one about Social Security. I couldn't find it. It was on MSN. I don't know what happened to it. This one goes on to say, I'm not going to expand too much on here. Social Security was never designed to sustain seniors as an absence, in the absence of other income. At its core, what the program really does keep its beneficiaries out of poverty. Okay, it can pay for things like modest housing, transportation, food, and few other necessities, but it can't afford most seniors the comfortable lifestyle they want in retirement. Why so? Well, those benefits will generally will replace about 40% of your average earnings pre-retirement income, and even a smaller percentage for higher earners. Most retirees, however, needed some ballpark of 70 to 80% of their former earnings to afford luxuries like a restaurant, meals, leisure activities, cable TV, and other such nice but technically non-essential expenses. Now look, folks, I'm frugal, okay? Now, a lot of people may beg to differ and say, look, how you look at life and how other people life is two different things, okay? And it's true. Okay, we're not all the same. We all think differently and so on and so forth. But let me explain something to you. If you're going to go on Social Security, why do you need to have, go out to eat in restaurants and leisure activities? Okay, I can understand you go walking around and stuff like that. Do you really need cable TV? Do you really need to go out to restaurants? Is this like the Jerry Seinfeld show there? They go out, they eat at the restaurant there before 3 o'clock, and they get good meals and stuff like that, cheap meals. Is that what life is? Look, we live in a world where everything is going up. Okay, bottom line, and it's like, you can learn to give those things up. It's just like I said once before. Why do people need to buy or pay cable TV? I told you on one of my other videos, a relative of mine pays $245 a month for cable. Another relative of mine has Cyrus Radio, pays about, $18, $19 a month for free radio? You can watch these things. You can listen to the radio for free in your car, and you can watch TV for free. Why would you want to do that? Especially if you're on a fixed income, Social Security, no doubt. Please, folks. Wake up and smell the coffee, all right? Then it goes on to say here, that's why seniors are generally advised to have an income source outside of Social Security, whether it be it savings in IRA or 401k, rental income, or earnings from a part-time job, which most of us are going to be working a part-time job. I hate to say this here, okay? Because I don't think in some cases Social Security is going to cut it, all right? When that time comes, people will downsize their houses. All right, hopefully within 30-year time, your house is paid off. You'll come out with a substantial amount of money. You may move into a 55 and over place, whatever, residence, and or depending on what kind of shape you're in, God forbid, if you end up in a nursing home, there's a lot of ramifications with that, because I remember when my mom and dad went to the nursing home, there was a lot of stipulations with that there, with their income, their house, the estate and everything and so on and so forth. If you don't, read up on it. You'll know what I'm talking about. Again, and then yet it says 21% of the married seniors and 44% of unmarried seniors rely on Social Security for 90% or more of their income. 90%. And now out of that 90%, if you're a person that has health conditions, you got to pay for medication. You'll probably fall under Medicare, Medicaid, whatever. That's going to draw a little on your income too. It depends what you get. Now, I don't know the total. I'm not sure if what the total of the highest, Social Security is. I don't know if it's 2,000 or 2,600. I thought I heard different things like that there, but I know mine is, you know, in a decent ballpark figure, you know. They'll also go by how many years you put in the service to how many years you worked. Then it goes on to saying here, of course, saving independently is a good way to ensure that you have enough money to lead a reasonable, comfortable lifestyle once you stop working. But if you expect Social Security to be your main source of income in retirement, here are a few steps you could take to boost those benefits. 1, file at the age of 70. That's a given because they figured the longer you stay in the workforce, I think the more money you can get. Now we're going to read a little bit here, and you're going to see about how it works here. Your Social Security benefits will be calculated based on the top of 35 years of earning, but at the age at which you filed could cause them to go up, or go down, or stay the same. If you file at your precise full retirement age, you'll get the exact amount of your earnings record entitles you to. If you file early, you will reduce your benefits in exchange for getting access to your cash sooner. But if you delay your benefits past the full retirement age, you will boost them by 8% year up until age 70, at which point the incentive runs out. This means that if you are looking at $1,400 a month benefit at full retirement age at 67, waiting until 70 will give you an extra $336 a month for life. Okay? Now, you know, this is what you got to consider, folks. This is what you got to take in consideration. You know, I'm not going to read all this here. I mean, I give you the URL. I'll give you the title of it in case you can't find it. Review your earnings statements. I get mine emailed. I get emailed once, and I also get them in the mail. Fight for a raise at work. Okay, the more you earn work at, the higher your Social Security benefits will be. If you have a reason to believe you're underpaid, go ahead and ask for more money. Okay, which is a no-brainer there. The $1,600 and $16,728 Social Security bonus for most retirees are completely overlooked. If you're like most Americans with a few years or more behind your retirement savings, but a handful of little-known Social Security secrets could help you ensure a boost in your retirement income. For example, one easy trick could pay you as much as $16,728 more each year. Once you learn how to maximize your Social Security benefits, we think you could retire confidently with the peace of mind. Well, we're all after, you know. And it says over here, simply click to discover how to learn more about these strategies. Okay, I don't want to go too much on it, folks. That's that there. I'm going to leave that window because I need to check that one. And lastly, I just want to go over here really quick with this one here in regards to the titles. Now, this one here, I forgot to give you the title here, folks, in case you can't find it. It's 3 moves to make it if you expect Social Security to be in your main source of retirement income. Okay, and that was from the Motley Fool. So if you do a Google search on that title, you'll see Motley Fool. That's the one you want to read up on. I'm telling you, folks, if you're pushing that retirement age, read this information. There was another one for retirement. I couldn't find it. I bumped out. I tried to find it. Couldn't find it. And here's another one I just want to share with you guys. This one here is from MSN.com, www.msn.com. This is from, I think the story I put out is mediafeed.org put this one out. It says 10 things you can't deduct from your taxes anymore. This came out 15 hours ago. Let's go through the slides. I'm not going to go read all of them because I'll be here all day talking about this here. It goes on to say, just a brief reading over here, a new tax landscape. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 drastically changed the United States tax code. This law will affect every income tax return filed from 2018 to 2025 when an individual provisions of the act are scheduled to expire. Click ahead for 10 items that you can no longer deduct from your taxes. All but one of them will start to apply once you filed a 1040 in 2019. Oh, ain't that going to be great? Let's see what they got here. All right, so let's move right along. Personal exemptions, okay? You can no longer claim deduction for yourself or your spouse or any of your other dependents. Each personal exemption is 20% in 2017, provided $4,050 tax deduction. I'm going to just read a little brief and I'm going to keep going because, like I said, I don't want to keep doing too much here. This is for you guys out there as much as it is for me. But then again, my kids are older now. So anyway, alimony, okay, we know what that's all about. Alimony that is required by divorce or separation decrees or agreements that are executed after December 31st, 2018 is not deductible. Okay, I'm reading bits and pieces here, so if you don't get the full effect of it, you're going to have to come back and read it, folks, all right? I'm just sharing this with you guys. The next one over here is non-military job-related moving expenses. Job-related moving expenses that paid by an employer are not deductible. Only an active duty member of the armed services who moves due to the military order can claim the activity as an adjustment to income. Here you go. Slide number 5, home equity loan interest. You can claim itemized deductions for your home mortgage interest or on acquisition debt that is debt secured by the home and used to buy, build, or substantially improve it upon, what is that? Oh my gosh, on up to $750,000 in principal and $375,000 if married and filing separately on a home purchase made after December 15, 2017. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Okay, theft losses. Personal theft losses can no longer be deducted on Schedule A. How do you like that? Folks, if you go to the malls or stores, take all your personal belongings out there. Well, not personal belongings, you know what I'm talking about. Don't leave things that are, eye-catching. What's it all saying? Out of sight, out of mind. So especially knowing this. All right, let's go to slide 7. Casualty loss from not from disaster declared by the president. Wow, I didn't notice it. That's why I said I got a CPA I deal with, and I'm sure I'm going to be updated on stuff like this. But thank God I don't live in an area that's flooded out like that. Casualty loss, okay, we got that there. Only a taxpayer who suffers personal casualty loss from a disaster declared by the president will be able to claim personal casualty loss as an itemized deduction. This policy is subject to 100 per casualty and 10% from AGI limitations. All right, so keep that in mind. Number 8. Well, this is 7 over here. Okay. It says we employ business expenses. None of the miscellaneous expenses that were subject to a 2% of AGI exclusion are deductible on Schedule A. Employs business expenses that haven't been reimbursed, and the most prominent of this category. You can no longer deduct the business meals, travel, entertainment for your taxes. These deductions include using your car for business as well as job-related education, job seeking, course, qualified home, office, a union, or professional dues, and assessments, work clothes, and work supplies. It's going to be a humdinger. Okay, let's see what else we got here. This one over here is investment expenses. Investment expenses are no longer deductible as miscellaneous expenses on Schedule A. These include custodial maintenance fees for investment and retirement accounts, fees and for collecting dividends and interest fees to be paid, fees paid to investment advisors, the cost of investment media and services, safe deposit box rentals. Investment interest is still deductible as interest on Schedule A, subject to limitations of the IRS Form 4952. And number 9, tax preparation fees, expenses paid on incurred by an individual in connection with the determination, collection, or refund of any tax are no longer deductible on Schedule A, no matter which level of government is presiding over the taxation or even what the tax level is levied on. Tax is levied on. Okay. And this is 11 by 11, but let's see if there's anything else coming up here. Legal fees paid on an award of judgment or settlement, a legal award judgment or settlement for personal physical injuries or physical sickness, and tax exempted. Is tax exempt. The related legal fees are not deductible since the income is not taxable. Okay. Legal fees are related to award, judgment, or settlement from a claim of unlawful discrimination are deducted as an adjustment to income on 1040 form, reducing adjusted gross income. And that, I believe, is it. Let's see what else is going here. Okay, now it says 9 personal. All right, we're not going to read any more at that, folks. I'm going to close out this video here. All right, so let me just back out here. Boy, I tell you, I don't know how long this video is going to be, folks. Like I said again, the reason why you're probably saying, well, why would I make a video like this here? It's because, when you start sitting thinking, you start thinking about your own future, about what's going to transpire in years to come. You're wondering if you're going to have enough money to survive, to live a decent, a comfortable life. Some people may not be able to afford to live in their houses. like I said, I live in New York. Taxes around here are very expensive, property taxes, okay, especially in Nassau County. I think it's the third tax expensive place to live in the country. I believe that's what they said. I thought at one time. I could be wrong. Things may have changed, but folks, it is really something to think about. And I know a lot of people probably, you're going about your business. People probably living, make a nice income. I don't have to worry about that there. Those are for people that maybe low to middle income families or whatever that, or they feel like, well, maybe those are people who have to worry, like the people in a higher pay scale. They probably feel like I'm already covered. I don't have to worry about that there. I got enough money in the bank, enough for retirement, yada 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 yada, and so on and so forth. But I'm telling you, just word to the wise for myself. This includes me too. I mentioned it once before in my other videos. I personally, not that it makes me better than anybody else. It's not rocket science what I'm doing. All I'm saying is I don't own any credit cards. And the reason why I don't own credit cards, in case you're wondering, folks, I've been there and done that. Now, you talk about stress. I went through 2 company layoffs and 1 company bankruptcy. Okay, one company, the jobs were insourced, where I worked in Long Island over here. The jobs went to Georgia. Somebody, I think it was 65 jobs went to Georgia, I believe, because the hourly rate was cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Lower wages over there to process the same work as to do it over here in New York. Another company went bankrupt. The other company I worked for was American. Was a mortgage company. And they went bankrupt because of, what do you call it there? The mortgage. Oh, I can't think of it there. Subprime mortgage. No doc information, doc verification. You could walk into a mortgage broker and you tell them what you make. We had people come in there saying they worked at McDonald's making $10,000 a month and they were getting mortgages for $400,000 because it wasn't verified. And the people that were able to get them in the house, from what I understand the stories, didn't last as long. The houses got taken back and it went back up on the market again. So subprime back in those days really put a dampener on things, and that company went bankrupt. 7,500 people lost their job with that one. And the last company I worked at, the jobs went overseas. I believe it's 1,000 jobs went overseas. Okay, they downsized whatever the workforce, and here I am today. And that's probably why I'm more concerned about my financial crisis, my situation, and that's why I'm sharing with you guys. Okay. What you do with the information is up to you. If you think this is like a waste of time, then you might not. Then you might just not even bother getting involved with this video or whatever. You might not want to watch the rest or whatever. That's totally up to you. But I do put this information out there. I do share it, and I'm going to continue to sharing. Whatever I feel that that's going to be useful or helpful to people. I'm going to put it out there. Cut and dry. I'm gonna do that there. I'm gonna try to help out in any which way I can. And if it's information that can help people out, and you could get a takeaway from it, that's the best thing. That's the best gift ever could ever happen. You know what I'm saying, for me. Okay. In regards to the subscribers going up and down, I'm sorry I lost those 2. It's like 1 minute it's going up, and then the next minute it's going down. I'm sorry to see you go. Whatever. Maybe you'll come back one day. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe you won't. It is what it is. But like I said once before, folks, in my other videos, I don't care if my subscriber base goes down to 0. I am still going to be doing videos no matter what, under any circumstance. So that's what this channel is all about. That's why I changed the title on it. I say Everyday Vlogging with Rich Pasini, sharing my stories and things that may be of interest to you and the things that go on in everyday life. It's going to be a daily vlog. And, I hope the people that do subscribe, I hope you don't mind checking out and the videos I post up here. And remember one thing in closing, this video and all my videos are clean content. This is a clean content channel. Okay, I do not discuss religion or politics, although maybe there might be a little key thing with that there. I don't know yet. I mean, there are certain things I do like to touch bases with. I don't want to expand too much on it, but there may be a time where I might want to just share a thought on maybe one of those topics. I'm not definitely sure I'm going to do it, but it may be a time like that. And as far as profanity, I could guarantee you this here, you will not hear that not on this channel anyway. Not that I'm saying that makes anybody that curses on their channels is a bad thing, but you're not going to hear me, it's not going to come out of my mouth. But anyway, folks, this is Rich Pasini signing off. Today is December 12th, 2018. I wish you guys out there who do or are sellers on eBay or any other platform out there that you do make a lot of sales. I wish folks I could share. I know people like that. Somebody said once before, when you sell stuff, it's nice to make a video and tell people what you sold. And I can't because I'm not making any sales. And the little sales I make, if I sold one thing, am I going to say, oh, I sold this item today and that's it? It'd be nice if I had multiple sales. Like there's a follower that I do follow on there. He's a reseller. And he has sometimes he'll post maybe 10 or 15 items he sold. I don't have that there. Unfortunately, I'm not making a sale, so I can't share the information with you guys out there. I'm sorry, I do apologize about that. But if I do make a lot of sales by some divine intervention, I will be more than happy to share it with you. But right now, as of now, I got no sales information to share with you guys. So, sales are flatlined, especially on eBay. I don't know if you guys are experiencing anything like that, but I'm telling you right up front, sales are flatlined. I mean, eBay is dead as it could be. Okay, you can't make it any more dead into what it is. I'm not making this video to complain about it. I'm just saying it's Deadsville, USA out there, folks. So I wish you all the best. Until next time, take care now. Bye bye.